Hey guys, it's John here, the Bip Bop Boom channel, and I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And I'm going to see if I get through 14 records, 2 books, 1 toy in how quick I can. And cheers everybody. Oh yeah, let's see if we can do needle drops. We'll listen to, I think, a British band on this old French 45 called Black Label. Know nothing about it. This is a killer track. A little bit of a rip-off of Day Tripper meets maybe like Deep Purple or something. And that's on AZ label. I'll turn down in a second. Okay, let's see. Next thing I got is a new wave of British heavy metal, 45 reissue by a band called Centurion. Obviously British, maybe 1982. 1982. It was originally issued with no picture sleeve. This was put out by a New York label who does reissues and some new bands called Splattered Records, and they're like a biker rock heavy metal. Fantastic A-side, 2 wheels. The B-side's pretty good, but the A-side's great. Motorbike got so much more. 2 wheels are better than 4. And that's it. And they're still available. It just came out this year. No, obviously last year, 2019. And when I ordered that, I also ordered 1977 punk rock Cyanide. And it's a single, Your Old Man, back with Fireball. Your Old Man's great, 77, snotty British punk, but Fireball, killer song. It almost sounds like a little glam rock in there. And I never heard of this band, but a buddy of mine has they put out an LP and a single. And he's got a boot of the LP that came out maybe in 89, 90. So he was familiar with them, but I wasn't. That's on that same Splattered label. That's probably the picture sleeve of the original repro of it. But killer British punk rock. Swedish band, the Spotniks, and this is, I think, is a French single. And this is probably like 1960, 61 instrumental. I'd say pre-surf. It's more like space rock. Think Telstar. Something like that, but fantastic. They got their heads in these old spacemen. Let's see what I'll put on next. I'm going to do another quick needle drop. Let's see if we get this will be on 33. And this is the Black Label AZ French thing. We're going to do this fantastic record here. This is one of my favorite records from 2019. And it's Don Cavalli, or Cavalli, I say Cavalli, but a French cat. He does, well, of course it's 45. I thought it was, this would be like old-timey hillbilly music, but this one's got an Indian theme. Beautiful, beautiful song. And this is a 10-inch, and this might be out of France too. He's a French artist. Usually stuff isn't out of on French releases, but this one is. Doghouse and Bone, 2019. 6 tracks. This is beautiful. Traditional music, but with an Indian theme, at least on the one song. Really, I just love the way this looks. One of my favorite songs of last year. Since we're doing all French here, we're doing 1950s, I think 59 or 58. The Savage Cats, or however you want to say that in French. 4-song EP. And I don't even know what label this is on. It really doesn't matter. But kind of Bill Haley, a little Gene Vincent, and then a ballad on there, but real 50s and wild for the French. I don't know, Pathé disc. All right, let's move along. Another great, if you like old time blues, like rockin' blues, electric blues. I got a newest single from Dollar Bill, the one-man band. Although studios sometimes they have other instruments, not just a one-man band, but that's on the Rolling Records. Keep moving on, gotta keep moving on, and the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Killer boppin' blues. And blues, here's another blues record. It fell through the cracks, I think. Billy Boy Arnold, 1950s harp player, played with Bo Diddley, cut his own singles, fantastic. Most famous for Wish You Would. And this is from like 78, 79, backed by the Groundhogs, the British band, kind of blues rock, psych rock almost, kind of like blues rock meets the Deviants, Pink Fairies. But this is cut in 79 in England, backed by the Groundhogs, Tony McPhee on guitar, and it's like upbeat versions. It's fantastic, traditional like Chicago blues, but they do I Wish You Would, and it sounds very much like the original, except like they did a whole bunch of cocaine during the session, so it's like faster and aggressive. And Dirty Mudderfoy on here, a great version of Catfish. But this is a killer record, being for 79, and it fell through the cracks. You get this record for cheap, and the whole record's great, but there's 4 songs that'll blow your socks off, and that's Billy Boy Arnold, Chicago blues. And what's next? Oh, next is a record I found in the thrift store for $2. Not one of my favorite bands, but every time I get an album by this band, and I only have a few, it kind of impresses me. I don't like hippie stuff, but I grabbed 10 Years After, Cricklewood Green, and it's an alright album. This is Dollar Bill now, but the track Working on the Road, track 2, Working on the Road, is a great song. I listen to that song, I'll pull this record out, listen to the song like at least 13 times. Kind of Dylan vocals, but on like a driving, galloping, like country on the road sound, and some great lead breaks, and what a song. This song's better than the rest of the album, but not bad. Alright, now we'll do, I think I'm mostly heavy metal here. I got this, I know people showed it, I got this right when it came out. I was really excited about the Job Center Rejects. It's obscure, new wave of British heavy metal, and a lot of this I did not have. So I was pretty excited to get it. It's a cool gatefold with the info, and it's got Predator on here, which is one of my favorite singles of new wave of British heavy metal. One of my holy grails. I don't have it, but it's got the A side on here. Seen You Here, and let's Take a Walk. I forget the B side, but it's just as good. But so that was good. There's Spiders on here, Overdrive I had, Frenzy I had, Speed I knew, Metal Mirror I have. So there's a lot of stuff I have on, maybe not originals, but reissues and LPs and stuff. But there's about 4 tracks I did not have, but they're stretching their definition new wave of British heavy metal. But it's a good record, but I don't like it. I don't like the layout. I don't like the whole thing about it. It was put together by non-metalheads, and it's kind of like it's like punk rockers or music critics put this out, and it gets on my nerves. The liner notes, everything's like, from a time in which metal had vanished, obliterated by punk, and the band surfacing could have been match fit for punk. Instead, they went metal. Nonetheless, what they drew from punk was a fresh sense of attack and knowledge that anyone could issue a record, whatever, but everything is compared to punk. And it's like, very few heavy metal bands in England in the late 70s were influenced off punk. I mean, at least there were metal guys into Zeppelin, Cream, Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Status Quo, a lot of pub rock, like just bar rock and roll, you know? And they're trying to like give this more credence or their blessing because they could say, well, it's just like punk. So therefore, and even the cover is like, I love a goof, like spoofing metal and making jokes, but this is like, if a metal guy did it, it would be kind of funny, but it's like them this is how they picture punk bands, and like it's like a jokey thing, and it's, everything is like, this is good because it's almost like punk, and everything is, Britain had not surrendered to punk rock in '77 and early the Clash, all this, the Buzzcocks, the Slits, Subway Sect. If you think Angel Witch knew who the Subway Sect were, or I understand the Pistols made a mark and maybe the Damned, but like all these backwater bands in Kent and Newcastle, they weren't listening to the Slits. They weren't influenced off that. Venom were into Kiss and Sabbath, and I like metal. They were metal guys. They were into Deep Purple. You listen to the vocals, they were, who their influences were. Just because the songs are gritty and rock and roll doesn't mean it was punk. I mean, punk is rock and roll too. But like, it's okay to these critics, like, I don't know, it's like they're giving their thumbs up because it's kind of like punk. But had it been like straight up metal, they would have just, that's not good, it's below us. At least that's the vibe I'm getting when you read this. So, in the second out, they have a volume 2, and I'm skipping on it because I think I have all the tracks but one. So, but good songs on here. I don't like kind of their take on metal. Maybe that's it for the needle drops, because what are we at? 11 minutes. Dead Serious. This is Aaron had showed this years ago, and I really wanted. He did a needle drop, and it took a long time to find it, but it's Who's Your Buddy? It's a bad Florida heavy metal band, ultra rare, and it's autographed by Fred Serious. I think that's his name, Fred. But Dead Serious. I feel like his name was Fred Serious, but he's deadly serious, and it's like do-it-yourself, low-budget Florida heavy metal, and it's good. It's not the way I pictured it on the needle drop. I built it up to some other thing, and then built up that I needed to get this record, but thrilled to have it, and it's on who knows what label. They put it out themselves, Dead Tunes Publishing, but it's not worth a lot probably, but it's rare as heck. And Who's Your Buddy? That's maybe like album title of the year, huh? Quartz, I don't know if I showed this, but this is one lacking in my collection. Birmingham, new wave of British heavy metal band Quartz. This is their first EP. Satan Serenade, cool, and I think Bloody Fool. And what is the other song? I don't know. I think Bloody Fool was off maybe that's original, but something's off the live record. And Roll Over Beethoven, that's right. It was off the live record, and that's on Logo Records. But killer. They call it a triple A side, but there's no way Roll Over Beethoven live version would ever be an A side. Great cover. Probably the best heavy metal record I got last year, and one of my favorite heavy metal records of all is one of my favorite bands, Crucifixion. Only put out 2 singles and maybe a 3-song EP, and they had 2 tracks on comps, but they were just re-recordings of the songs on the singles. I've been looking forward to this for almost 20 years. They need to put out a record since, probably like the late 90s, early 2000s, when I first heard Crucifixion. And High Roller put this out. I know Leo from Too Much Metal Is Barely Enough showed this one, and Farley played it. But it's one of these packages. I got the posters. But it's dirty new wave of British heavy metal, like Angel Witch meets Tank meets a little Motorhead. Very simple riffs, but killer, catchy songs, and the Fox. But the thing is, there's like maybe 5 songs they've never heard before, and another alternate version of another one, and Moon Rising, wonderful song, and this is great. It's got what has it got? It's got stuff. I don't know. There's stuff in it, all the usual business. I thought there was. Oh, there is a book. And it's got the book, Crucifixion, and the whole shindig. But this front to back is one of my favorite new wave British heavy metal records. One of my favorite heavy metal records. But this is the style I like the best. And wonderful. There's another metal record. A buddy gave this to me for Christmas. In Destroy. and it's a U.S. thrash metal band from, I don't know, this is 89. I think they had a LP after this or something. Just 6-song U.S. Thrash. Not great, but it's cool. But the best part is they have a song called Sam the Butcher. And unfortunately, it's instrumental. Had it been lyrics in there, I think they could have went places, because what a brilliant idea, Sam the Butcher. It could have had like sadistic version of Brady Bunch going on with Sam, but unfortunately it's instrumental. But I love that. That's a great track, title track for U.S. thrash, and that's on Road Runner. No inner sleeve on this. Is it on Restless? Okay, that's 14 records. I got some books. I wish there was something playing in the background. My wife got me Defenders of the Faith. It's like a new heavy metal book. It's mainly dedicated to the denim vest of nowadays. Not like vintage ones, but a lot of pictures of festivals and metalheads. And it's a cool book. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in the world, but a lot of wonderful pictures of festivals and a lot of denim jackets. You know, hundreds of denim jackets, and it's great seeing all the bands, especially nowadays. They fill them up with patches. It's not like the old days we had a few patches. At least in America, there's a few patches, but just wonderful, like coffee table book, heavy metal. Defenders of the Faith, and it's by Peter Best, not to be confused with the drummer there. Another book I got, which is book 2. I only turned on, I missed it because this guy put out the first book. It's called Just for Kicks. I think it was Story of My Life. Out of print now. It goes for almost $200. But this is Just for Kicks, Story of Your Life. And it's about an old Teddy Boy rocker who put out like a scrapbook of all his photos and memories. And this is one of all his friends and people on the scene. And what's great about this is the Teddy Boys from about, like, I'd say 65 to 75, kind of like those lost years. There's a lot of documentation on the Teddy Boys from the early 50s through like early 60s, and tons from like 77 when the Teddy Boys ruled England till like kind of they started fading out in the 80s. But this is a lot of you see in 1969, a lot of great photos of the Teds and the rockers, and you know, I'm into that stuff. I love rockabilly, and they you know, just great photos and little like a page long little memoir, anecdote, a story from the rockers or from the Teds. You know, funny stories, you know, about fighting, drinking, and all that stuff. But just great seeing the pictures of the Teds, like, that probably would have been close to my parents' age. You know, not, you know, these guys are all probably pushing 70 now, but you know, some of them, I don't know anyone in the book I don't know of, or not that I knew a lot of people, but sometimes there's people that are still around on the scene, but I didn't do that. Okay, that's it. I got the toy from my wife. We're 18 minutes. It's a little long. She bought me for Christmas. I got the King Diamond action figure, and it reminds me of those old Star Wars action figures I had when I was a kid. And it's interesting because it's not like all rock guys. Like the series was Alfred Hitchcock, Nosferatu, and King Diamond. So it's kind of a little random. And this is, I don't know if this might have been from a couple years ago, but I just got it now. And lastly, I don't know why I'm showing this, because maybe I never showed it, but I have a big giant plexiglass super yob. And that's one of my favorites. Oh, and one last thing. Geez, I should have did this first. Everyone needs to sub to Dunsy's Guitar World. D-U-N. I don't know. Does that look like an N? Yeah, I guess good enough. Dunsy's Guitar World. Guy who shows guitar stuff, but he's just like us. A little older than me. New wave of British heavy metal. He'll show you how to play songs, but his videos are short when he does the guitar stuff, but his talking is fantastic. He's an interesting guy. He plays in like a goth post-punk band now, but he was around in the metal scene in the 80s, and he's got a closet full of like new wave of British heavy metal records, and he'll open it up every now, pull one out, put it on, and then try to figure out the song on guitar. And he shows like how to play songs from like Anvil and Tigers of Pantang, and then like Joe Perry Project, and like he's kind of all over, but all like rock and roll. But he's a guy, he's a very smart guy. He's got some interesting ideas, and what he does, he's a very smart guy, but he's an interesting personality. But just to break up just showing records over and over, and his videos are not very long, and they're always entertaining, and he's worth subbing. I don't know if he's got a lot of subs, but he's from Scotland, but interesting guy, especially if you go back to some of the earlier videos. But I really dig him. He's made my new favorite channel for non-VC. But that's it. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope to see you around. Cheers.